Hi, chat. I'll go another minute on the timer, so we're not gonna say too much. But my timer's done.
Oh, your timer's done.
My timer's done.
Wow.
I don't know what happened to our timers not lining up, but my timer's done.
I'm gonna blame you for that.
It probably is my fault, but that's okay. Welcome, chat. How are we doing tonight?
Oh my goodness. Chat, I can't believe this. Temp wanted to race me to the beginning.
I go fast.
Oh my gosh. You know, it is that I'd say that it is appropriate for this night only. Afterwards, you're gonna get shunned if you do that again.
It will probably happen again. Admittedly on accident.
Tonight. After tonight, you were fine. Well, after tonight, you're not fine. Excuse me. It's just like Christmas.
Really, like I know it's about Christmas time, but this really is like my Christmas.
Yeah.
Like, I'm so.
This is your Christmas. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. Hello, chat. Welcome back to Nightwave. I assume that a lot of people will probably be afraid to watch because we are going to be talking about spoilery things. Now, chat, I do have to tell you, we will not be talking about spoilery things until the end. So if you wanted to watch, don't worry. We'll let you know when it's time. I'll put a big thing on the screen.
Yeah.
Because we're not assholes.
Yep.
Like that.
We do plan to do it, but we will give you plenty of warning before we start.
Yes. Pretty much. We're not going to start off with Sonic right away. But we'll get there eventually.
People have already given me spoilers. I heard Sonic got a viral heart disease and Knuckles had to step up to defeat the androids.
Oh my gosh.
You don't know that joke, do you?
What is the joke?
That's Dragon Ball Z.
Oh, I
so
see.
There is an arc, the Android arc, or the Cell Saga, where Trunks from the future, which is Vegeta's son, comes from the future to the past because these androids basically slaughtered everyone in his future. But Goku died from basically heart disease. So he came back to the past with the cure for his heart disease. The Goku then had the heart disease, didn't want to take it because he's Goku, so Trunks had to fight the androids.
I see.
No, chat, that didn't happen. I promise you that didn't happen.
Flavored heart meds? What?
Yeah, it was grape flavored. Goku did take the heart medicine.
What?
What?
That just sounds weird.
Welcome to Toriyama.
Flavor. Interesting.
Now, we're not going to start again. We're not starting spoilers for a long time, but if anyone cares to not be spoiled, do not be searching YouTube Shorts.
Oh gosh, yeah, I assume that's probably like a dangerous minefield right now.
I was browsing YouTube Shorts today, and I got 2 of them that were the final act, essentially final boss scene.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah, that scene. So
that's insane.
Yeah, careful when you browse YouTube Shorts. I was mad about it, but I was happily watching because I was smiling ear to ear.
Yeah. Man, that's crazy.
Yeah, I'm just letting you all know so that way you take if you typically do YouTube Shorts, don't do it for a bit, or at least try and like moderate how you do it.
I agree. Chat, fun fact, there was a movie that just came out and it was the was the Sonic movie. We'll be talking about that
We
a little bit
will.
later. A little bit later today. Um, we're gonna start off with other stuff first because we
And
do have a full show that we wanted to do.
we do. And I actually think we probably should clarify. There is more Sonic news today than just the movie.
Mm-hmm. Wait, really? What?
You're like, wait, there is? What?
Not that I knew.
No, we'll talk about it. We'll get into it.
Okay. Yeah, we'll start with that.
What do you want to start with? We have a large docket.
We do. You added a whole lot of shit here tonight, and I am down for it.
Like an insane docket.
Mm-hmm. A lot of it is Sonic related, I've noticed.
Yes. Well, to be fair, there have been interviews upon interviews upon interviews and is it a lawsuit or is it just being sued? That's in there. That's also Sonic news, kind
There
of.
is a lawsuit in there. Yes. Yes. Jeez. Do you want to start with the lawsuit first?
We can start with the lawsuit.
Let's talk about the Sonic lawsuit.
So, anyone who follows Sonic probably knows Crush 40. Crush 40, if you don't know, basically did the main themes for Sonic from Sonic Adventure 1 pretty much all the way up to Sonic 06. That's a very impressive catalog. But
yes.
Live and Learn, the main theme of Sonic Adventure 2, the main singer, Johnny Gioli, I don't know how to say his...
Sino, I believe.
No, Jun Sino is part of the band, but he's not the singer.
Okay.
Because Jun also works for SEGA, whereas Johnny does not. Johnny's a contractor.
It's a funny way of saying contractor, but yeah.
And basically, he was licensed to make Live and Learn. And he agreed Live and Learn would be in Sonic Adventure 2. That's fine. SEGA, in their infinite wisdom, has decided... Wasn't Sonic Heroes a bad game? You take that back. Sonic Heroes was fantastic. Anyway.
Sonic Heroes was fantastic, even though I've never played it.
SEGA decided to use Live and Learn a lot more places that their contract didn't agree to.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Like, Live and Learn is one of the most popular songs that SEGA just uses. For, like, it appears in racing games, it appears in, like, as in, like, little sound bites in, like, other games, or...
Yeah.
Like, it is just one of the most popular songs. Let me open it up so I'm not, like, spouting bullshit here. Because I don't want to be wrong in what I'm saying.
Sonic Heroes is good, just rougher than SA1 and 2.
It is a little rough,
A little bit, yeah. Also, hello, Scarlet, welcome.
Filed in the U.S. District Court of Southern California on December 5th, Gioli's lawsuit centers on the singer's refutation of the fact that despite his own work on the track, SEGA has claimed sole ownership of both Live and Learn's master recording and musical composition. SEGA assert they own Live and Learn based off of a 2001 lyric agreement where plaintiff was paid $3,000 to write lyrics for for as of yet untitled song that would be included in Sonic Adventure 2. Argues his lawyers, Gioli ended up arranging, producing, recording, and performing vocals of Live and Learn, which were produced out of his home studio in California, using his own equipment without the supervision, control, or involvement of SEGA. The assertion that they somehow own 100% of both the master recording and musical composition is without basis. According to the singer's legal team, his work on the track extended far beyond just the writing of its lyrics, as SEGA of America and Sonic Adventure 2 composer Jun Seno allegedly sent instrumental demos back to Gioli to review and revise. after which they worked together to create the song's master recording. Jun's re-recorded portions under Gioli's direction in Japan, while Gioli worked without any supervision, direction, or control by SEGA in California. States the lawsuit, SEGA was not directly involved in the creation of the master recording itself and did not exert any creative control and supervision over the recording process. To this end, the lawsuit affirms that the song's use in Sonic Adventure 2, wherein it blares over Sonic and Shadow's final battle against the Bio-Lizard, was the only instance of its use for which he was aware and had consented. With the singer only learning of its continued appearance on various SEGA-related soundtracks, thanks to a conversation with a fan earlier this year. These unauthorized uses, said Gioli, includes the track's appearance in 7 non-Sonic Adventure 2 related Sonic games, 3 Yakuza games, 4 Smash Brothers games.
Wait, it was in a Yakuza game?
3 Yakuza games.
What?
4 Smash games, 3 Phantasy Star games, and the Fist of the North Star Legends Revive mobile game. In further bolstering his case, Gioli claims that in numerous communications with SEGA and its representatives, it was explicitly noted that the developer did not have any claim to the song, with a supposed message from company attorney Atia Rizat sent in regards to his participation in ongoing SEGA Symphony Music Tour reading. Please note that these are your materials prior to this agreement and not SEGA's, and we have no right to these materials. So, SEGA had already admitted that these are not theirs. Another SEGA lawyer, Richard Lev, is also said to have repeatedly asserted in an April 2024 letter that Gioli was entitled to 50% of SEGA's profits from their use and licensing of Live and Learn because it was considered joint work. Along with the decision regarding the official ownership of Live and Learn, Gioli is seeking proper credit, restitution, and $500,000 each, or $1 million total in damages for both SEGA breaching of his contract and their unjust enrichment as a result. Asked for comment on his lawsuit by Polygon's Nicole Carpenter, Gioli reluctantly affirmed, "I have no comment other than my desire to maintain the preservation of a long-standing, beautiful relationship with SEGA. I do not want fans to draw conclusions or be disrupted from the beautiful memories we have made collectively with this music, and I believe and hope we will come to a peaceful settlement that is fair and just."
Interesting.
So he is suing them for the money, but he wants to keep working with them because he knows he won't get the money unless he goes this route. This is basically him asking in a more official way of pull your heads out of your asses, please, and thank you.
How did he not know that they were that all of this was going on?
He's very busy.
Do you know how old this game is?
Yeah, I know. There's definitely some things here. And my only reason I'm not going to speculate is because he's flat out asked that we do not speculate.
Yeah.
Live and Learn was both in Yakuza 4 and 5. Other Crush 40 songs were in Yakuza 0 and Yakuza Kiwami 2. Okay. So they're finally in court after a multi-year drag-out by Nintendo's lawyers. Got it. Now, Bounding into Comics did make note of this, saying similar lawsuits have occurred before with the Sonic IP across 2009 to 2013. Then former Archie comics writer and artist Ken Penders successfully argued in court that he owned the rights to several characters he created for Archie's Sonic the Hedgehog comics. Archie only had a photocopy of his contract and couldn't provide the original as more concrete proof. Though not mentioned in the lawsuit, Sonic 3 will feature the song, and its appearance was signed off on by Gioli himself.
I assumed so.
I have indeed signed a deal with Paramount for song placement. How they will use it is strictly up to them. He told video games news outlet Aftermath earlier this year, Paramount now has the legal right to use Live and Learn in any manner they feel necessary. Interesting. Sonic Force was the one. Yeah, Sonic Force. No, Sonic Forces was bad. RPG Wannabe was Sonic Chronicles, which actually was part of the lawsuit with Ken Penders. That was the reason he sued them. So it's a fight over who owns it and whether the master recording ownership was included in the contract or not. It pretty much all hinges on it. If he sold the rights in the contract, he loses. If not, well, Peaceful kind of flies out the window once lawsuits are thrown into the fight. He's saying that because he hopes Sega will just make a deal and settle.
Yeah, he doesn't really want to... It sounds like he doesn't really want to fight too much about this. I mean, like, I really wouldn't want to fight too much about this. It's just like, listen, bro, I feel like you owe me money, but I still like you.
Yeah. Like, he wants to keep working with them, is what he's saying. He's just like, hey, I haven't been paid all this money. Like, I'm okay with you using this, but I wish you would have, like, asked for permission and paid me.
Yeah.
If you had done that, we're all square. But...
Mm-hmm. No, yeah, it's... I don't know how I feel about that. Hello.
As an example, Gioli commonly goes to, like, Sonic fan conventions and official conventions and just does on-stage singing of Sonic songs.
Yeah.
Like, he's pretty much a face of the franchise for a lot of people, especially people of, like, our generation.
Mm-hmm. No, yeah, I've listened to his songs a lot. I remember when I was a kid. Here's a little bit of Occo lore. Did I get past the spoilers? Spoilers are going to be at the end of the stream, so don't worry. When we do spoilers, I will bring up a thing that specifically says we are talking about spoilers. Yeah. You don't have to worry about that, chat.
No spoilers. We're good.
Yeah, not yet. Not yet.
Occo lore.
Not yet. Huh?
Occo lore.
Yes. So when I was young, I actually downloaded the Sonic soundtracks from, like, the Blue Blur website, which is, like, just a repository of all of the Sonic music that existed. Oh man, that is memories right there. Oh.
Sonic music has been and forever will be some of the best music in video games.
Yes. Just some of the best music on some of the weakest video games. Not all of them, but some of them.
We can really attribute Crush 40 to this.
Mm-hmm.
Like, people commonly shit on Crush 40, but if you listen to their songs, like, they are sole reason. Like the music has been great since the beginning, but they added, like, they got that, like, musical flair to a point where even people, like, one of our friends, Malice, does not like Sonic. He calls people who like it furries. Fair. We had him listen to some of the music, and he's like, all right, fine, this is a bop.
Yeah, that is pretty funny. That he, I do seem to recall that, yeah. Was I there when that happened?
You were there.
Oh, that's funny.
It's a fight over who owns it. Yeah, okay. Well, regardless of the master recording being in the contract or not, it's about the piece as a whole. In my opinion, he'll probably get paid out because in the grand scheme of it's not much for the company, but it's the principle they will have an issue with. Exactly. SEGA talking out of their ass to them would be stop the ban now. I understand, but the Japanese don't play around with lawfare. They're not known to play nice in the courts. I should clarify that he did not say which branch he's suing. It is very possible he's just suing Sega of America.
Mm-hmm. Interesting.
And to people like us, $1 million is a shitload of money. But for people like them, $1 million is just a drop in the bucket.
Oh, yeah.
So they could be like, okay, we'll settle. Here's $1 million. We're done.
Nicholas brings up a good point. He doesn't want to lose connections in the industry because, lawsuits like this do ruin your connections in the industry forever.
Exactly.
So, which is why I feel like he's trying to just be like, hey, listen, I don't want to make this a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Like, yeah, I don't know if he even wants to take this to court. He's just like, hey, if we can work this out and have a good relationship, cool. So, we'll see where this goes. I don't think it's gonna go much of anywhere. I think they are going to settle this.
Oh, I agree. I think that there will be a settle.
I hope Sega learned from Ken Penders to actually give two shits.
I think they will. Well, I can't say much of thinking about anything because it really depends with Sega.
Yeah. So that is the bad Sonic news of the night.
Yes.
How old is the artist?
We haven't really gotten a lot of bad Sonic news. We have a lot of funny Sonic news. Do you want to talk about Kadokawa next?
Sure. Someone actually asked how old he is, and according to Wikipedia, now take that with a grain of salt because it's Wikipedia, they say he is 57 years old.
Really?
Yes.
Interesting.
And that is as of now. So during time of SA2, he would have been in his 30s.
Well, Mills a drop in the bucket for Sega? Probably.
Yeah. Especially with the movie.
Probably.
Hey!
Yeah, very accurate.
Yeah, that's other topic for tonight.
Yeah, well, we'll get to that, but let's go to something that's non-Sega.
Right.
Let's go to Sony.
So Kadokawa. Oh, I have a bot. Hold on.
Oh, lovely.
Hold on. Let me just chuck the bot into the ether.
Okay, Chad, I'm curious. People call me Akko the Impaler. What is that like a reference to? Am
Vlad
I
the
supposed to
Impaler.
Okay.
Wikipedia is pretty reliable in my opinion. I would agree, except it can be edited by everyone. And anyone who has a problem with that material or Wikipedia as a whole could just go through and be like, what if we change this? I don't trust it.
I'm also a Sonic fan. Welcome, Sonic fan.
So yeah, we have Kadokawa. That's interesting.
It is. So, chat, I don't know if you remember, but Kadokawa, recently, like within the last couple of months, was putting out feelers for basically a merger. And a lot of people were afraid because of the idea that Sony would take over. And then a lot of people started to realize that there might be a reason why it was happening. And the reason why it was happening was because they kind of need money and they didn't want to get bought out by somebody that could have been quote unquote worse than Sega. If you can imagine, there are people that are worse than Sega. So the deal did happen.
It did.
But Sega did not buy them out.
No. Sony.
Yes, sorry, Sony. Sony did not buy them out. What ended up happening is they became a 10% shareholder. So they have the biggest sharehold in the entire company.
Yep.
For Kadokawa, which means that effectively they can make choices for Kadokawa, which kind of sucks, but
yep, absolutely. Chat, I want to clarify. Every time Akko said Sega, Akko meant Sony.
Yes.
So,
my apologies.
Ironically, like I've been paying attention to the Kadokawa situation for a bit now, but my sources, like where I've been hearing a lot of the news for Kadokawa, was actually Arlo.
Oh,
like obviously, like bounding into comics and other stuff like that, we'll post about it. But Arlo posts the videos on like what's going on with this too, because it also does affect FromSoft.
It does, yes, it does, and I think a lot of people will be paying attention to that.
But the deal basically says Sega owns 80% shares, I think, total.
Sony owns 10% of the company.
10% of the company, yeah.
Yeah, 10% of all their shares, which is the biggest amount, mind you, but it's only It's only 10%.
FromSoft as fuck now. Disagree. I only say this because the deal that Kadokawa and Sony made is that Kadokawa has or keeps its autonomy. So while Sony owns 10% of the company, Kadokawa still has their autonomy. And because of that, FromSoft gets most of its autonomy from Kadokawa, not Sony. Even though Sony owns shares in both, Kadokawa is the primary shareholder for FromSoft. So until FromSoft either ditches their collaboration with Kadokawa, or Sony flat out buys Kadokawa, FromSoft will be fine.
Mm-hmm.
FromSoft is being bought by Sony JP. FromSoft is not being bought by Sony JP. If they are, I've not heard anything about that, and I'm pretty sure we would have heard about that by now. Because that would be really big news.
I would like to see it. Yeah, I don't have anything in my stories about that. I don't know. I haven't seen anything about that. All I know is that Kadokawa is now 10% owned by Sony, which is a lot. And it's more than just FromSoft that affects. That affects Sony basically has their hands in all anime that comes to the West now.
Mm-hmm.
Which is kind of crazy.
Yeah. Like, people will commonly look at the Kadokawa situation and go, oh my god, Sony's buying FromSoft. That's actually not why they're doing it. Sony has actually flat out admitted that they want Kadokawa because of its anime and manga divisions.
Which again is, in my personal opinion, a problem.
It is a problem.
Is Elden Ring good?
Yes.
For now?
No, I would say it is just good. It's a good game.
I know. I mean, like, I think they're asking, like, in terms of, like, is it good to stay? Like, are we afraid of what could happen to it?
No, I'm not concerned. I thought a few weeks ago Sony JP wanted to buy it. So that, I'm going to reiterate, that is commonly an issue news outlets will just throw out there, is Sony's buying FromSoft, when that's actually not what they're... It's like, Sony wants the anime and manga division of Kadokawa. Buying FromSoft is just brownie points. It's like, oh, that's a nice added bonus. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
But that's actually not what they're going for.
Yeah, I think that again, I think the only problem I will have is that they are going after the anime, and that is a minor issue for me, but like there's really nothing we can do about that.
On the note of Sony and anime, it's in the docket. Crunchyroll employees reveal merchandise sales struggling after Right Stuff acquisition due to Sony decision to drop racier adult manga and toys.
Yeah, I do seem to recall that. Yeah.
So yeah. It ties into that same monopoly with the Kadokawa situation. So according to a new report, through Crunchyroll purchased online anime merchandise retailer Right Stuff with the objective of strengthening their own operations. The acquisition has since proven less than profitable, thanks to their parent company, Sony's ongoing turn to puritanism. The dominoes that led to this outright first began to fall in August of 2021, when after roughly 2 years of negotiations and a full-blown antitrust probe from the U.S. Justice Department, Sony completed their purchase of Crunchyroll from then-parent company AT&T for an impressive total of $1.175 billion.
That's a lot of money.
A year
Well,
later,
thank you.
go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. I was just kidding. Well, thank you for the 2 sex cells who knew. Exactly.
Exactly. A year later, Crunchyroll announced that in service of bolstering their e-commerce offerings, they had acquired the aforementioned Right Stuff. And though they told customers that they would continue to provide the same wide variety of products we have been offering for 35 years, this assurance came with a notable caveat, as the combined entities subsequently announced that as a part of our new Right Stuff plus Crunchyroll unification, we will be phasing out the erotica genre content and product. From there, September 2023 saw Sony officially collapse Right Stuff's retail operations into Crunchyroll proper, thus making their online storefronts one and the same. And while Sony obstinately saw their decision to drop said risque content as a way to entice wider audiences of non-anime fans into shopping with Crunchyroll, it seems the entire endeavor has ultimately backfired on them. This outcome was first brought to public attention on December 20th, courtesy of Bloomberg's Cecilia D'Antantasio and Takashi Mochizuki, who themselves have reportedly learned the relevant information via personal interviews conducted with 18 current and former Crunchyroll employees. Per their sources, the Sony-owned anime streaming service is currently struggling to both retain paying customers, with their monthly customer turnover rates sitting upwards of 8.5%, and capture the attention of viewers. In a cited survey of over 4,000 Americans conducted earlier this year by the online gaming and entertainment site Polygon, noting that 76% of Gen Z anime fans watch shows on Netflix, compared to 58% on Crunchyroll. These sources also informed the pair of reporters that Crunchyroll's purchase of Right Stuff was meant to help their identity crisis, as executives also hoped merchandising would help retain subscribers and boost revenue. Viewers could binge on anime comic books between anime seasons instead of pausing their monthly fee or purchase collectible figures of their favorite anime characters, they explained. After taking over the anime merchandise retailer Right Stuff for an undisclosed sum in 2022, Crunchyroll's online store was poised to offer manga, DVDs, and toys. Unfortunately, 3 former employees admitted that instead the business had shrunk since the acquisition, with various reasons said to have contributed to this result. Most notably, the fact that Sony asked Crunchyroll to pull the racier adult manga and toys that formed about 5% of Right Stuff revenue. That's a really big percentage.
Yeah, oh yeah, that's a pretty big percentage. Holy shit.
As of
Sorry, I'm
writing,
just listening to you right now while thinking.
As of writing, neither Sony nor Crunchyroll have offered any specific comment on either the financial costs of their puritanism nor any of the other revelations found within both the articles, with the only official communication from either being standard PR statement given in response to Bloomberg's request for comment. There's never been a more exciting time to be an anime fan, and we are strategically feeding a pipeline of anime content and experiences that fuel that fandom, deepens the love of anime, and exposes more audiences to the medium, wrote the anime distributor. The Crunchyroll business is outperforming our financial expectations, and the company is well positioned to continue to grow alongside the rising global demand for anime. That bottom statement is a damn lie, and they know it.
Sorry, what was the bottom statement again?
That Crunchyroll is doing better than ever.
Oh, no, yeah, they're not doing better than ever. I think that's retarded.
I don't think anything Bloodborne happened related. Sony America absolutely hates anything Bloodborne related. Am I gonna need a PSN account to rent an apartment? One day, maybe. As a company, it's so stupid to spit on that amount of money. Racy merch sells way too well to not be involved in its distribution. There's no denying anime and manga are where the money is at. Exactly. So Sony is about to, they fucked around and they're about to find out.
I think I know that mangakas are definitely not happy.
Oh, Japan
at
is pissed.
all. Like, yeah.
Because Crunchyroll is a fusion of Crunchyroll and Funimation, and that is the premier dubbing in America. And it is also the Sony flat out has a monopoly on anime merchandise in the West. They own Right Stuff, they own Crunchyroll, and they own Aniplex.
Yeah.
Crunchyroll is hurting. Wasn't there talks of closing their streaming site? No.
I think it could happen if they're not careful, though.
Yeah. I really hate to say it, but I really hope this pushes Sony to either figure out what the hell they're doing or sell it.
I think they're just going to shut it down. I don't know.
Honestly, that might be the best case scenario, and we start having independent dubbing companies start popping up again.
I think that might be the best shot because Crunchyroll is just not doing it.
No.
Recently, they're just not doing it at all. Like they're pissing off the fans. And now the mangakas are getting more and more upset, and I think we can attribute that to the fact that they are seeing just how their shit is being like messed with in America, and they're not happy with it. So, and I think that's a good thing that they are able to see it.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, chat. I think. What do you think? Do we think we're gonna lose Crunchyroll? Probably. It'd be really funny, in my personal opinion.
What if they sold it to Netflix? That is actually possible.
Oh.
I would say that is genuinely possible.
Oh, I don't want it to go to Netflix, though.
Disney's been entering the anime race, too. Disney's a genuine possibility. Which would make it worse!
I don't want that, chat. Unironically, now I'm sad.
Only ones left are Viz Media and Sentai Filmworks. Yeah.
I'm sad now. I don't want like the anime to be owned by Netflix. Like they haven't fucked it up yet necessarily, but I feel like they can. Ugh.
Anything involving Disney would be a nightmare. The only reason even though I am saying Disney, the only reason I am hesitant on Disney is because Disney is choking right now.
Oh no, yeah, chat. I don't think Disney's really in a position to do a whole lot, personally. Anyway,
in fact, they're in a position to sell more than anything.
Disney?
Yeah.
No, I think that they probably will.
No. I don't mean like the big Disney, like the House of Mouse. That's not being sold at all. I mean like selling Lucasfilm or selling Marvel or selling Pixar or, their internal companies.
Yeah. Maybe. I think that with Disney, they have just been struggling internally for a while, and I don't know. I just don't think that they're going to continue moving forward.
We need a monopoly breakup. Dubbing, streaming, and merch need to be separated. Agreed. And that was the problem with the Kadokawa thing, because if they bought Kadokawa, that would solidify Sony's monopoly. Like they already have one, but that would just send it overboard. George Lucas wants Lucasfilm back. That is a rumor. We actually don't know that. If he does, please, God, please. But until we know.
I think it's too late.
Yeah.
Personally.
I mean, he could buy it and then hand it to people he trusts, and then kind of take like a position of like, oh, this isn't working, and he's like not a consultant, because like he'd own it again. But like, you come to me when you have a problem. Otherwise, like, I have to approve this. And if I don't approve it, that's fine, but you do it. You know?
Hopefully Disney stops with live action remakes. Funny you mentioned live action remakes, chat.
Funny you mentioned live action remakes. Mufasa's doing awful.
Yeah, it only grossed 122 million in its opening weekend here, chat.
I would love to clarify that Disney is trying to save face right now with that. Disney is claiming that Mufasa grossed $122 million globally in its open weekend. Remember that they said globally.
Yeah, not in the States.
Which then goes to the comment from the same Twitter account. No, sorry, not same Twitter, but a similar one. Sonic 3 opens at number 1 domestically with 62 million.
Yeah.
62 million domestically. Sonic 3 isn't even out everywhere yet.
I'm kind of surprised by that.
And it's already doing much better domestically. Once Sonic 3 is out globally, Mufasa's 122 million is going to be a drop in the, like, is going to just be destroyed.
I have a question. Do they shoot and kill Maria? When
we'll talk about that later in spoilers.
We'll talk about that in spoilers, chat. We're not going to talk about dying kids.
Like, even here, I posted, Neon said globally, Sonic 3 destroyed it domestically, and that movie hasn't opened in most international markets yet. Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know. I think Mufasa, it has they can claim that they're doing really good. We'll have to wait and see.
Sonic 3 will most likely be top grossing this year or among the top. Oh, absolutely. Without spoilers, Sonic 3 was the Avengers Infinity War Endgame and Spider-Man No Way Home of the franchise.
You really think so?
Yes.
Okay.
Akko, I was reading some of those comments in those shorts. And a lot of them were mimicking almost exactly one-to-one what I was hearing when people were seeing like the triple Spider-Man appearance in No Way Home, or when Cap yells Avengers Assemble in Endgame. Like, it is similar.
I guess I can see that.
Sonic 4 was confirmed. Yes, Sonic 4 was confirmed. Before the movie even came out, Sonic 4 was confirmed. That's how confident they were.
Thank you, Kahoo Pops. For some reason, the Twitch thing was like, no, thank you. But yes, fuck Moana. Nobody cares about Moana 2. I can't believe that they're making a live action Moana already. Yeah. Does The Rock really want to get his face on more shit? Is he like not content with Is he not content with just, excuse me, being a voice actor? He has to actually do the entire fucking thing.
Yeah, he does.
It's very annoying.
So DC.
Moving on to DC now.
DC did a bad.
Oh.
DC did a bad and a disgusting.
With the Harley Quinn.
Yeah.
Chat. Yeah. Have you ever wanted to like have a comic where Harley Quinn just farts? Chat. You wanted, apparently this has like been a thing. Apparently Harley Quinn has always liked farting. I don't get that. But this is like,
Yeah.
what am I looking
Let me
at?
read this for you all so you kind of get the idea. I've been holding in all my very worst bits of bubble guts for the last 32 years.
You might need to stop before I leave.
That we started with that, and Akko's like, stop, please.
I'll tell you what, you read this, I'm gonna go start some water for ramen.
Okay.
I don't want to listen to this.
Understood. Chat, who wants to have their ears violated? And it's all been leading up to this epic expulsion. Your nose will never be the same. You'll gag, you'll cry, you'll feel things you ain't never felt before. This fine publication is a celebration of all things past, present, and tutory. Sequential art's place in the annals of history is about to change with the release of Harley Quinn, Fartacular, Silent but Deadly. A comic that promises to have the highest concentration of gas per page ever committed to print. Emphasis on committed, because everyone who worked in this comic is getting thrown into Dr. Fartley's home for no good gassed gals and guys. Read the comic that Abraham Lincoln called a joy from fart to finish, moments before he died. Warning, we aren't kidding. If you are grossed out by farts and this comic isn't for you, and that's perfectly okay, though I am judging you, unless you want to put your feelings to the test, in which case this comic is for you.
I just had this idea, by the way. Somebody gives me $100, I will buy this comic and read it on screen. Like, I don't know if I can buy it to read on the computer, but if somebody gives me $100, I will buy and read this comic for you people. All right.
Oh,
that is the kind of and you know what? Maybe I'll drag Lumi or Mizu in to read it with me.
It's so
but
bad.
It's that's how much money. That's how much money. By the way, Wolf, thank you for 2. What a disguised fetish. Just leave it all out. Yeah.
No.
If I get my old job back, I'll make it happen. Okay. It's just.
Oh God. This thread needs a hero. DC hating money again. I see. Yeah.
Yeah. Akko, it's beneath you. No, it's not beneath me. It's listen, chat. People have done worse.
Buy the comic for you.
I just need it bought online.
They will probably have it online. Yeah.
Heard that the synopsis was Brap. Oh no.
Yeah.
I want to know like who would pirate, if anybody, like if this is like something that people would pirate.
Oh, I already have a place for that.
Like this is such a bad comic. I remember like it reminds me of like when Dustborn came out. It's just like, did anybody ever pirate Born? I don't think so. But Dustborn is one of those games where it's just like, you don't pirate this, you just leave it alone.
Really? Yeah. It'll be leaked quick. Oh yeah, it'll be leaked so quickly.
Pay up, Batman, gas ain't free. No.
Yeah, I know. I got that comment in my. Yeah. Yeah.
Pay up, Batman. The gas ain't free, sugar. I hate it.
I'm so glad. I'm sorry. I don't mean to be this way, but I'm so glad Harley's original actor passed away.
Like her old actor?
Yeah. Because now she doesn't have to be associated with this horse shit.
She just old or something?
Yeah. She was just old.
Fair enough. Fair enough. It'll be archived somewhere. There will be no way it won't.
Yeah.
I know. I'm just...
So that's where Joker stored his laughing gas.
Oh, chat! No! Why did my wife recommend this stream? Yes. Tell your wife thank you. She deserves a lot of love for recommending this stream.
Don't worry, chat. We're going to cleanse your ears. Well, okay, but technically, in the same vein of DC, they did technically announce something else this week.
Oh, the Sonic comic?
So, technically, SEGA announced this back in September. Before, I think it was like one of the Batman anniversaries, and they had like a video up of just like, what if Batman was Shadow, or like vice versa, like Shadow was Batman, or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then they announced, like, less than a month later, that we'd be getting DC cross Sonic. And they showed off such like Shadow was Batman and Sonic was the Flash, Knuckles was
Wait. Shadow is Batman?
Shadow's Batman, yeah.
Color me surprised.
And like Knuckles is Superman and Amy's Wonder Woman and Tails is Cyborg. And
actually, no, never mind. Never mind. Ignore me, chat, like you normally do.
So yeah.
I can see that being interesting though.
Yeah. So we were given an exact description of this comic. It comes out like the same week as that stupid godforsaken Harley Quinn thing.
Yeah.
Cleanse your eyeballs with this. It's a crossover event unlike any other. The monster's dark side crosses dimensions to invade the world of Sonic the Hedgehog. Seeking the ultimate power, Sonic and his friends have faced everything from mad scientists to ancient spirits, but the forces of apocalypse may be too much for them. Thankfully, the full heroic might of the Justice League arrives to back them up. Don't miss part 1 of this unique crossover event.
I think it could be interesting.
Is it a mobile game? It is a comic.
I definitely think it could be interesting.
Yeah. And before some of you get concerned, this is being written by Ian Flynn.
It's being written by the guy that is writing the comics currently.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And now the games.
And now the games? I forgot about that.
He wrote Frontiers.
I mean, Frontiers was alright, so.
I mean, he's writing the comics for years, and I've been happy with him. So
my water's going off. You talk for a moment.
So that's coming. Now, what I'm curious about is how are we going to acknowledge the fusion of characters unless Darkseid uses the Chaos Emeralds to fuse the two worlds together, which is very possible. Now, I will not deny that there is very possibly a game in development because SEGA said this is not going to be exclusively comics. Akko's water broke. Akko's making ramen.
Yes. I was making ramen. Well, I was cooking water to boiling water to get hot water for ramen.
Yep.
I've approached my tea drinking phase, chat. It's very fun.
So I think this will be fine. I think the DC Cross Sonic is going to be fun.
It'll be interesting, that's for damn sure.
Archie Comics? No. So Sonic is no longer under Archie. They had to do a reboot, and now it's under IDW. And I would not be surprised if they end up having to cancel that collaboration and resume the comics under just the SEGA brand, like online or something like that. Because the comics are now canon to the games. Mm-hmm. Not like this, but like the main comics.
Yeah, because this is just a side thing.
Yeah, this is just a side thing. This is just this is a what if we're having fun kind of thing.
Which is totally fine.
I'm fine with that. Yeah, exactly.
Does my model have a sleep mode when I take? Yes, it does, chat. It does. It does. It does. What was I working on? Super Smelter? I think so.
let's see what else we. Oh, right. Ubisoft.
What's wrong with Ubisoft again?
You posted it today.
I did.
Star Wars Outlaws devs admit that so few players have interest in their game that not one single player has unlocked a mount from completing some minigames.
Yeah, Chad, I guess there's a mount in and I'm assuming that there are other mounts that have been unlocked, but there is a mount in Star Wars Outlaws that nobody has unlocked at all. Now, I'm not quite sure what the current player base for this game is. I know that you have to combine PS5 and Steam, but nobody has unlocked this mount. Like this, it's kind of depressing to think of. Here's the. Let me read you the lore for this. Canto Bight is not only Kay and Nix's home, but is also the home of Fafnir Racing, which is why it was a natural fit for our game, with Canto Bight in the game and syndicates obviously rigging races. Perfectly aligned with the world we were building. The races are often thrilling scenarios where your father might make a desperate sprint to cross the finish line first. Capturing the excitement of real horse races, we worked hard to make these races as entertaining as possible. Here's a little secret to this day. No one has acquired their own father. To unlock this, players need to complete a dedicated short quest scattered around these betting stations. To reveal an additional quest that brings Kay back to Tashura for a special opportunity. Let's see if anyone can crack it now.
And Kat saying,
How long
I
has
feel
this
like
game been out?
A while. I don't remember the exact date. It's been out a while.
A couple of months. It's been out for a hot minute. I feel like it's been out for a hot minute and nobody has gotten this mount yet. That is like depressing.
Cat's comment. I feel like they made a post about it to suddenly beg people to play and unlock it. They did. That's exactly what this is.
Oh yeah.
When the game is not fun, why do the side quest? Exactly.
Oh no, 100%. Like I don't see the game being that enjoyable. Chat, do you guys see the game being that enjoyable? No, you don't fucking see the game being that enjoyable. You aren't fucking dumb.
Chat, it's been an hour. You know what that means around here.
You're very subtle about that.
I know. It's chill time. Chat, if you like the content we produce on both sides, please hit the like, subscribe, and hit the bell for notifications for both of us.
By the way, chat, I do have a super chat goal up right now. If you meet it, I'll add another hour on top of the stream right after we do the main stuff, and we'll just make it pure gaming or whatever. I don't think anybody will come back or care. Probably not.
No.
Probably not. You know what? I need to be using the mic cards. That's what they put them there for. Game was released August 30th. My goodness.
And it came out on Steam pretty recently, too.
That is depressing. It's like after a night of banging and asking, so did you finish? Was it good for you?
Yeah.
Damn. That's depressing.
Yeah, no, really.
That is very depressing.
So, oh no, technically there's one more thing in our docket we wanted to talk about, or that I put there.
That is not Sonic related?
Yep.
Okay.
It is very minor, but apparently...
That is a loaded statement right there.
Someone found out some files within a Valve data mine that suggest they are prepping a release of a full-blown home console. Basically, what we're being told from this data mine is that it's just a Steam Deck, but without the screen and better parts.
So it's going to require you to use a computer?
No, it's going to be able to plug into your TV, like the Xbox, like the PlayStation, like the Switch.
Oh, it's like a plug-and-play console.
Yeah, it's just... It's a full-blown console, but the Steam Deck.
That's funny. Goal's been surpassed by 300. No, that's the little monthly goal thing I put there. I'm talking about the super chat thing that YouTube has put up there. I put that up as kind of just like a little fun thing.
Yeah. And real quick, you're saying why? Money. Also, there are some people who like the idea of a Steam Deck or like the idea of playing on a PC, but don't play, like don't want to spend like the hundreds or thousands of dollars for a PC, or want to be able to use this. Like a Steam Deck is great, but it's not as powerful as some people would like. And if they were
Yeah.
able to sell this for like $600 or even $700 as a full-blown console, and it is stronger than the Steam Deck, that is actually going to be phenomenal, because it's just, here's Steam, but on your TV. Like, you could do it with the Steam Deck already, but...
I like people asking the real questions. Does it come with SpongeBob, Spider-Man, or Shrek design?
No.
You know,
well, maybe. I don't know. Probably not, but...
Oh, you just cut out.
I did?
You did. You just, like, screamed so much that you cut out. You pulled a dumb.
Oh, sorry.
Unironically, chat, I could see people, like, making their own design skins for these controllers that are going to come out just for that purpose alone.
D-brand.
What brand?
D-brand. Have you not heard of D-brand?
Maybe?
They made a whole bunch of, like, Steam Deck skins, and...
Oh, never mind. I know what you're talking about.
They're the ones that always make the jokes about Linus Tech Tips and shit on him, and, you know, are real trolls about it. For fun of it, not to actually be, you know, assholes, but...
It could be assholes and we would never know.
Yeah. Consoles are holding gaming back. They are.
They always do.
What this is, based on what we're hearing, is just a cheaper PC. Because, again, it's going... If we're right, it's still going to have Linux on it. So this very well could be like a plug-and-play computer.
That is hilarious.
Which is fantastic. Like, for if people want a cheap, like, budget PC, but don't want to build one, this could actually do it great.
I probably could. Well,
I mean, the Steam Deck has blown the market up exponentially. So, we'll see.
We will have to see, indeed. I'm very interested.
Otherwise, chat, I guess we have one more Sonic thing we can mention before we talk about the movie.
Yeah.
Shuji Imutsu. Oh, sorry, no. Shuji Utsumi. I don't want to make it wrong. The CEO of SEGA.
You got it wrong. I'm just telling you right now, you got it wrong.
I probably got it wrong. Shuji. Let's say Shuji. Wants to make the next mainline Sonic the best game ever that exceeds expectations. My man. Boy.
Thank you for the $20. Uwu Gaming. Jeez. Much appreciated. Especially over to Streamlabs. Oh, man. I deeply appreciate that. Oh.
Is this about the Steam Deck? While those are helping, when you look at stuff like Witcher 3, because how they made two different games while they did the right thing and port the PC game to consoles. Well, again, this isn't going to be a console like the PS5 or Xbox Series. This is going to be a Steam Deck without the screen. Like, if your whole purpose was to play on it on the TV, this is going to be built for the TV. Or a monitor, but it is still a PC at heart.
Yeah, it is. Sorry, ramen is spicy, but good.
Could hard replace traditional consoles? Exactly. It could absolutely hard replace traditional consoles. I mean, Xbox is already phasing them out. And Nintendo won't matter. The only competitor they will have in the market is going to be Nintendo and Sony. And, well, we already know what people think about Sony.
Indeed.
That's my shin ramen. I have some chicken and mozzarella ravioli in the fridge waiting for me for later.
Unironically, yes, I am eating shin ramen. That is what I am eating right now, yes.
Anyway, so the CEO of SEGA did an interview with the BBC. No, not that BBC.
Okay, that was a bad joke. That was a bad joke.
In an interview with the BBC, Sega of America and Europe CEO Shuji Utsumi spoke vaguely about the future of Sega and Sonic. He talked about how he wanted to bring a rock and roll mentality back to gaming, like how Sega marketed Sonic as the cool alternative to Mario back in the 90s. To that end, he went into what's next for the Blue Blur. Sega must make a great game in the series. At least he admits it. He told the BBC, the next one is going to be quite challenging, quite exciting game that we are working on. We also probably shouldn't expect it for a while. When we release it, it should be good, it should be impressive. We need to meet or even exceed people's expectations, so it takes some time. When the BBC asked about a follow-up to Sonic Adventure or the return of the Chow Garden, he wouldn't say much about the former, only that Sonic Adventure was a game changer. On the Chow Garden, he was a little more open, saying, "We've been talking about it." Obviously, this interview doesn't tell us much, but it does reconfirm that yes, the Chow Garden is being talked about, and that Sega has big hopes and ambitions for Sonic's next big game. Exactly what form that'll take, we'll just need to see.
Unironically, if they bring back the Chow Garden, that is the sole reason why I would buy the next Sonic game.
I mean,
I would still play the main series, but that would be the #1 reason why I buy it.
Yeah.
In chat, you all would too.
Obviously, in this post, you see Madam Savvy. We're saying then they need to terminate ESG-driven initiatives, hire actual talent, and bring back the Chow Garden. Well, yeah, Chow Garden, yes.
Yes.
But I will admit, I don't feel like ESG and DEI have infected Sonic. At least the games.
Sega.
It's infected Sega, yes. But it has not infected Sonic.
Chow Garden is an easy mobile game crash grab. I hope not.
They could absolutely.
That's not where it goes.
Well, hold on. Do you remember Sonic Advance working with Adventure 2, or Adventure 1, Adventure 2 on the GameCube?
Yeah.
They could do it like that. Where you have like a Sega account and you can link a Chow Garden from the main game with a mobile version and be able to take your Chow on the go with you again.
I just don't want like a mobile game.
What about Rouge censorship? That's a thing, yeah.
Rouge is nowhere to be found, Chad. I don't know what you're talking about. Rouge doesn't exist.
So,
oh, that stuff's hot.
I understand their drive for this. I mean, the franchise has been doing, honestly, rather well. The comics have been doing great. The movies, all 3 movies, were extremely well received.
Oh, yeah. Very much so.
Sonic Frontiers did really well and was very well received.
Even though some people said they hated it, I think it did pretty good.
Yeah. Superstars had some problems, but I think the general consensus is still it's a good game. The only DEI infected thing is the fan base really want Amy and Surge to be lesbian and Tangle and Whisper. Yeah, they do.
Oh, is that the comics?
Yes, the comics. Yeah. Like there is, okay, I will admit there is a gay couple in the comics. But the characters have appeared, but they don't shove it down our throats. Like it has just been told to us outside the comics that they're gay for each other. But they don't.
A female couple?
No, it's a male couple.
Oh, never mind. Boo.
There are teases that Tangle and Whisper are gay for each other, but there's no confirmation of that either. But again, like, don't shove it down our throats, and it's fine. Like, as long as it's not an entire story arc on why they're gay for each other, then...
Given that autism is a major part of the Sonic fandom, trying to implement DEI into the games would cause a third Gamergate. Probably.
Yeah. Chris Chan.
It would be amazing. Well, Christian would be okay with that.
He would be.
Excuse me, she would be okay with that, or it.
To
I don't know.
think
Chris
none of
Chan
this
calls himself.
would have happened without the character revision of Sonic in the first movie. Very true.
Oh yeah.
We wouldn't be where we are if they didn't listen to the fans. To be fair, there is a common rumor that they did that intentionally to spark that conversation.
I would believe it and still be okay with it. I personally think that's a great tactic for driving people to pay attention to your shit.
Yeah.
Although
Sonic,
I wouldn't say do it all the time.
No. That is a thing that will work once and only once for like a decade. Maybe 2.
Yeah. Nobody can use it for the next decade.
It's Sonic Temp. They're all gay. God, the amount of Sonic X Shadow.
Myself OC is gay for Sonic.
SEGA had made a problem when they called their next game Sonic X Shadow. Like,
Yeah.
if they did, that's mega brain advertising. The reason why people think that is what they did is the lead director on all the movies was the guy in charge of the art direction for Shadow the Hedgehog.
Yeah, so he already knew.
There's no way he didn't know that was going to be a problem.
Yeah, my personal schizo theory chat is that they knew. Oh, excuse me. I think that they knew and they did it intentionally, and you know what? That's okay.
Yeah.
Whew.
It also seems they fixed the problem so fast. Yeah, exactly. It was fixed really fast. Like, they delayed the movie by what? 3 to 4 months?
I don't know how fast it takes to fix that, but yeah.
Yeah, that's really fast. Which means they probably already had it ready to go.
Just imagine that. I find that hilarious, but by the same token, like, I don't think you can be that. You can be mad, but you can't be that mad. You know?
I mean, people still talk about it like this is like the best thing. This is what happens when you listen to the fans. And it's true. The movie,
Best example, IMO.
The Sonic movies are the greatest example right now of what happens when you listen to what the fans want. No ifs and or buts about it. Like, the movies have all done phenomenally.
I see chat talking about Gamergate. Chat, Gamergate is gay and fake and dumb. And anybody that participated in it was also gay and fake and dumb.
Chat, glow.
I appreciate that.
We glow around here.
But yes, chat. Let's glow instead, because the whole thing was dumb. The whole thing was dumb, and I hated it.
I got an email.
I'm fake, gay, and dumb. Then yes, you are.
Oh, it's a response.
It's a joke. It's a joke, but us gamers want good games like the '90s, but they kept making trash like Dragon Age Veil. Excuse me. Somebody joked about buying me Veilguard, and I was like, I will not play it.
That was malice.
And then he bought me a game about cleaning up the ocean. I have a feeling he was trying to send me a message.
If only the games industry got the memo. They seem to be consistently hating on their consumers, unlike Sonic. See, that's the thing, too, is like, for all the shit we can give Sonic, we got Forces. Forces did horrible, and then we got Frontiers. They clearly learned that we hated Forces.
Yes, they did. In the worst way possible for them. Drag and age. That's pretty good, actually.
Yeah. So, do we want to start? the big
Was
topic.
was there anything else you wanted to talk about?
No, there's nothing else.
Mm.
Like, I have in the docket a Chugga Conroy short where he just goes into like some of the shit that NOA has done, but we don't have to talk about that.
Nah, we don't have to.
Yeah. So again, chat, we're not talking about spoilers.
Yeah.
When we talk spoilers, you will be given, I'm going to say, probably a 5-minute warning.
5 minutes? That's pretty generous of you.
Maybe less, but it'll be a while still before we talk about it.
Yeah, we'll start talking about the movie. Here, chat. Just for you, I'll pull up the trailer. No audio, obviously. But we'll pull it up. And we'll just I'll have this on loop for you so that we can throw it right here. All right. We can start talking.
So, what did you think of the movie?
I thought it was pretty good. I already kind of it. I didn't expect it to go the places that it did. I guess I say early, but like the Sonic series is like 6 years old now at this point, isn't it?
No, the first movie. Okay, so every movie has had a 2-year gap. So
yeah, so 6 years.
No, what? No. Sonic 1 came out in 2020. Sonic 2 came out in 2022. Sonic 3 came out in 2024.
Okay. Fair. Fair. Anyway, continue. Sorry, I messed up my thought there.
Okay, so when we saw everything about this movie, with all the trailers and everything, we were basically told this is going to be a movie adaptation of Sonic Adventure 3. Sorry, Sonic Adventure 2. Adventure 3 doesn't exist.
Come on, you're the Sonic fan here. Shouldn't you know all
Technically,
of this?
there are 2 games that people actually consider like a potential Adventure 3, and that is either 06 or Unleashed.
I wouldn't consider any of those.
I would consider 06 maybe.
I mean, it does.
06 kind of follows the same style.
It does follow the same gameplay style, but 3 movies in 4 years is insane. There's not 3 movies in 4 years.
3 movies in 5 years.
It took them a while to produce number 1, so I'm assuming that it was 3 movies in 5 to 6 years.
Yeah, the release cycle is 5 years, no matter what.
Yeah. But I think I was really surprised that they went for that they went that they went to SA2 for the 3rd movie, because
yeah, I was too.
When we first saw the end trailer for 2, and you see Shadow, I was not expecting that at all.
The route I was expecting them to take was actually CD. I figured we'd still be in the classic era of Sonic.
Yeah, I expected that too. I wasn't entirely It
was okay. Sorry, let me retract my statement. I thought it was either going to be CD or Adventure 1. Because in Sonic 1, they made various hints to chaos.
Oh, they did, yeah. I agree. Do you think that they could... now, granted, we all kind of know what the movie was about, but do you think that they could still go with SA1 in the future?
I don't know.
You don't know?
We'll get into why during the spoiler section.
Okay.
Because I feel like what happens in the movie kind of makes me doubt if they could do SA1 now.
Hey, Chad, don't talk about the spoilers just yet. We'll get there, but let's avoid it for now.
Yep. I will actively remove comments if they're spoilers, so there's your warning.
Has everyone seen it at this point? Probably not.
No, because it just came out officially on Friday. This week.
I'll tell you what, chat. half of my potential audience isn't here, and it's probably because they were expecting it to have spoilers in the thing. So I don't blame them.
No, I don't either. Absolutely don't blame them. So again, we will let you all know when we're going to do spoilers. But I was go ahead.
I was just gonna say, do you think that the trailer misrepresented what you expected at all? Because I know you had some mild concerns walking into this.
I did, and my concern was Gerald. So for anyone who hasn't played Sonic Adventure 2, Gerald was dead.
Yeah, and that's not really a spoiler because like they actively showed him off in the trailer.
Yes.
Like I kind of knew that he was gonna show up eventually.
Like he was gonna be in the movie no matter what.
Like the fact that if you bring Shadow into the movie, Gerald has to show up eventually.
Yeah, either be in a flashback scene or in like a recorded message scene. I don't think anyone expected Gerald to be alive.
No, at the very least, in the way that he was, in the movie, and it was quite crazy. Again, we'll get more into kind of like what happened because they took a lot of and now to be honest, I feel like some of the changes that they made to the movie that accommodated the realism
the
for
movie world.
the stuff. Like I feel like there was some stuff where like I don't know, maybe they could have gotten away with some of the elements from SA2 being in there, but then they didn't add them. Others, it's just like I would concede on. Like Eggman being in his mech from SA2, that would have been like the coolest thing ever because it's like my favorite part about Eggman and SA2. I knew it wasn't going to happen.
Well, I say with Tails.
Oh yeah, I at least wanted it to be Eggman, because Tails I always felt like made a little bit less sense.
Yeah,
having a mech suit like that. It makes more sense to have Tails just being the just flying around. So, I kind of was hoping for it mildly because it would have been really cool to see. But I think by the third trailer, I was like, yeah, I don't expect to see this. Like some of the references. Oh, some of the references are really funny.
Yeah.
Some of them really good.
I'm trying to think of. Oh, Knuckles. Knuckles? Okay. One of my biggest gripes with Sonic 2 was Knuckles. Because it kind of felt like they took the Sonic Boom approach with him. Where it was like, he is very much the dumb one of the crowd. Whereas in the games, he's not dumb, he's ignorant.
I blame his islander nature.
Yeah. I felt like they leaned into that a little too hard with the second movie. But in the third one, they seem to have remedied some of those issues.
You think so?
Like, he was still kind of dumb, but he was dumb in a fun way.
Oh, I agree with that. I didn't watch the Knuckles show. I have people that got really upset with me because I refused to watch it. Did you watch it?
I will fully 100% admit I didn't watch all of it.
Okay, so you stopped after a certain point.
Yes.
Was it before or after Knuckles became a Jew?
Before. Now, chat, I want to admit that, clarify that I live with my father still. He watched it. I commonly got snippets of what was going on from him. And every time I actually saw a scene, I was like, why? Why did you do this?
You mean gullible? Gullible is a better word for it, yeah.
Gullible is a much better word. He was very gullible. Should I actually watch the whole series? Probably I should. Or the whole show.
Maybe.
But everything I saw was disappointing and made me shake my head. Like, I was very disappointed with just about every scene I saw.
Yeah, the little snippets I saw, just like, and what's funny is, it did play into the Sonic movie, but not really in the way that, because I had people saying, "Oh, you're not going to understand these things from Sonic 3." And there was one point where, and we'll talk about it here in a moment, where Knuckles says or does something, and the people I was watching the movie with were like, "Do you know why he does this?" And I'm like, "Does it matter?" And they're like, "Oh, it's because you didn't watch the show." And it's just like,
I
I don't care. Do you know what part I'm talking about?
I think I do.
Okay.
Again, without spoilers, was it with Wade? Was it that scene?
Yes.
Okay. I don't feel like that mattered with the Knuckles show.
No, and that's the thing, is just like, okay, I really hate this idea where you have to watch a TV show to prepare for a movie. I hated it when Marvel did it. Like, it was kind of cool when I was a little kid. I thought it was kind of cool, but like, I hated it. When it came to the TV shows,
I don't think Knuckles
eventually
actually mattered with this movie, like the show.
It really didn't. It really, really, really didn't. Like
my biggest concern was they were going to bring up a whole scene where, like, Knuckles is a Jew. They never did that. Minor spoiler, I guess, but they never did that.
Not that there's anything wrong with Jewish people here, Chad, just to let you know.
That felt to me shoehorned. That to me felt like pandering.
Oh, it definitely was. I think a lot of people would agree with it. That was pandering for sure. That was 110% pandering, and they all know it.
Yep. So, but no, Knuckles didn't matter. That the entire show did not matter to this movie at all.
No, and that's fine with me. It's just one of those things where they're like, "Oh, you didn't watch it." It's like, I don't see how watching the show would have enhanced my ability to enjoy the movie.
Okay, having watched the movie, Knuckles to me felt like a filler episode in an anime.
Yeah.
Was just like, does this matter? No. Why is it here? Because we wanted to. Okay.
Distract Knuckles by reading the Torah. You know what? That probably would have been funny. I don't know. Anyway, do you want to head into spoilers? Because I feel like we're dancing too far around what we want to talk about.
Do you want to do it now, or do you want it till the end of the stream?
I mean, like, is there anything else you wanted to talk about for the stream?
Fair. No, not really. Chat.
Okay.
Do you want us to get into spoilers?
Chat, I think we're gonna get into spoilers now.
Let me get this ready for my stream.
Like, I don't really feel like there's much else to really avoid. You know what? For this special occasion, I'm gonna like crack out a special soundtrack.
I'll put that there on the bottom of the screen because that's very big, very obvious. So again, chat, we are about to enter spoilers. If you do not want to be spoiled, I would suggest you leave. If you don't care or you have seen the movie, by all means, stay. I'm not going to see the movie yet, so I will be leaving to avoid spoilers. So that is perfectly fine, Kat. That is why we're giving people the warning.
Yep, your warning is right now, chat, if you don't want to hear spoilers. Just saying.
Because, chat, I'm dancing around spoilers because I really, really want to get into them. Akko knows I've been biting my tongue.
You have. You asked me, like, can we talk about this earlier? I was like, no, we got to save it for Sunday.
Yeah.
You got to save it for Sunday, bitch.
I really, really, really want to talk about it.
So, oh, that's good shit. If you don't want spoilers, walk away now. I should get raided. I got a shit ton of people just jumping in. Maybe they want to hear about it. I don't know.
If it'd be
Let me
really
add
funny.
Add the spoiler thing to this area here. There we go. There we go, chat. This is your warning right now.
Big, bold letters. Oh.
One of my favorite moments is spoilers. Well, there we go.
I mean, to be fair, I think everyone's favorite moments are spoilers.
Well, wait another like minute or two, chat.
Yep.
I decided to just put up the SA2 soundtrack.
Ooh. I debated, like, for my starting soon train, I almost debated putting up Sonic music for that, but I didn't.
Okay, everybody plays Escape from the City, and we're jumping to That's the Way I Like It. Metal Harbor is a great song.
Metal Harbor is a fantastic song. Speaking of Escape from the City, actually, not really a spoiler. Did you notice in the credits that they said Escape from the City was in the soundtrack for the movie?
It was, yeah.
I never heard it.
I'm gonna have to go back and listen to it.
I want to go back and watch the movie. I want to go back to theaters and watch the movie, but I probably won't.
I'll wait for it to come out on Paramount.
Yeah. Or DVD. I'm getting it on DVD no matter what, so.
I think I'll do that as well.
Because like, I have one and two.
One thing that I didn't. So. Oh man, that might be something that I still left in Texas.
What? Are your movies?
Some of them. Copyrighted music. I mean, it might be okay. If it's not, it's whatever.
Well, I mean, you can rebuy 1 and 2. I mean, if you wanted to.
We'll see. We'll see. All right. Enough time has elapsed. If you don't want to be spoiled, get the fuck out of here. All right. Let's start off simple. What was your favorite moment in the movie?
Are you sure you want to start off with that?
Yeah. Let's start off with that. Favorite moment in the movie.
Final scene. Final fight. Okay. I'm not, hold on. I'm going to retract that statement. I'm going to go the entire final act of the movie.
Okay.
There were people talking about... Okay, hold on. I see someone in your chat saying they're back. Again, chat, final reminder. Spoiler is now. If you do not want to be spoiled for Sonic 3, leave. BioLizard
is Godzilla. Yes. Okay.
I would love that.
Were you upset that BioLizard wasn't used in like a final boss farm?
If you actually think about it, no.
Like, it makes sense why. Because, like, okay. Maybe it was copium, but I knew that even though I wanted to see the big boy there, that he couldn't be used because it just doesn't make sense to use him.
I would love to point out as well is that the point of the BioLizard was not to be a boss. His weight was meant to be the dragging force behind the arc crashing into the planet.
You saying he's fat?
Yes, I am saying he's fat. But if
I just feel like lore-wise, it was kind of hard to fit the thing in there.
It was very hard to fit it in there. But the fact of the arc, the Eclipse cannon, it wasn't the arc, it was just the cannon.
Yeah, they kind of like took everything away and just decided to put the cannon there.
Which I'm fine with. It was weird, but I was okay with it.
That's really going to make things awkward when they have Sonic Unleashed as a movie, and then they just be like, Sonic, I'm going to piss on the Earth instead of the moon.
Okay. I'm guessing by that comment you think that Eggman used the Eclipse cannon for the Dark Gaia thing.
I see. Now my thought process is: do you think that they would because like they're kind of steering away from a lot more mystical threats in the Sonic movies?
I'm gonna disagree with that.
I know.
I'm gonna disagree with that. Shadow was my big driving force behind not agreeing with your statement.
Okay.
So, chat, for those who don't know, in Sonic Adventure 2, Shadow was created by Gerald. Created. He was the artificial ultimate life form. Artificial. In the movie, he actually was in a space pod, a rock. It was a rock, but he crashed on Earth.
That really sets up the Shadow movie, honestly.
It does. Because that flat out admits, one, he's from space, which I'm okay with because they've acknowledged Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles also are. Fine. But it also
Germa? Yes, chat, by Germa.
Really leans into the idea that it was the Black Arbs. We'll get into the post-credit scene, that final act, in a little bit. Because there's some, like, I have a whole thing with that ending.
Oh, the ending of the
post-credit scenes.
Which one?
Both of them. Specifically the first one, but both of them.
Okay.
I was worried. So for those of you who haven't watched Sonic X, when Sonic X adapted SA2, instead of having Amy talk to Shadow and convince him to side with Sonic and help him defeat Eggman, or Gerald at the time, actually. Technically Gerald. It was Amy that convinced him. In Sonic X, it was Chris Thorndike, the human character.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Which is like, okay, fine, I get it. It's part of that continuity. Whatever. Fine.
That's still dumb.
I was really concerned they were going to do the same thing with the movie.
Where they use
by using Tom.
Are you okay? But Tom is not a girl or a tiny boy.
Right.
Only one of those two things could work.
Right. But Tom was commonly the motivational speaker that got Sonic on that path for where he goes in that movie. It would have actually made sense for him to be that driving force behind why Shadow changed his mind.
Yeah.
So, when they didn't do that, and instead, their whole driving force of Shadow changing his mind was Sonic beating the ever-living shit out of him.
I think they really went into a Super Saiyan fight with
oh yeah, no, that was
3.
100% a Dragon Ball fight. Like,
yeah.
I don't think we've ever had, like, okay. Anyone who's seen Sonic X Season 3 with the Metarex will know Dark Super Sonic, where Sonic was able to get into his super form with artificial Chaos Emeralds because he saw Chris and Cosmo being tortured by the Metarex. Sonic went into his super form, but it was completely black.
Oh, that's just racist right there.
And it was actually Eggman who calmed him down and made him go back to normal. That whole concept was almost a driving force for Sonic beating the snot out of Shadow.
You think so?
Yes. For those who do not know, if you you watch the movie, Tails made holographic things to like change how you look. So you could like get because they were using them to get into the gun's headquarters.
Which was in London, which I thought was really dumb.
That was weird.
Personal opinion.
Well, Prison Island was in Japan.
I know. I'll be honest with you though, that was really cool.
That was cool, but I don't know. That's weird.
Okay,
it's cool and
Prison
weird.
Island. I was hoping and praying that even if Eggman didn't have his mech suit, that like he had an opening, he was like in the opening to help Shadow escape. The fact that regular Eggman didn't help him escape, I was kind of sad with.
But it was Gerald, and I think that did fit.
It did, but I still loved the opening monologue from Eggman in SA2 is one of my favorites. Because it's just the cut, like you literally have just a badass cutscene of the dude riding in on a mech, literally shooting things down. And I know they're like robots, but he's still shooting shit down. And it's like one of the most badass scenes that he's had in the entire game.
Mm-hmm. Guns HQ. So those who don't know, Gun is actually Guardian Unit of Nations.
That still sounds so autistic to say.
It is. But the abbreviation is Gun.
Yeah.
I did like the prison island scene, though. That was really good. I am sad we didn't get more with it, though.
Is Gerald Dr. Robotnik? He's the older Dr. Robotnik.
Yeah, well, Tom is basically Sonic's dad in the movie. He is. London has guns. Holy shit! I didn't even think about it!
What?
London has guns.
Oh, yeah. Why do you think that shield was around the building? It wasn't to keep people out. It was to keep the guns in.
Yeah. Technically it was, yes. They also gave Shadow a gun and he fired it. They did, and that was so good.
It was pretty good. Excuse me. I agree. They like did that purely for the Shadow movie kind of look.
Oh, yeah, they did. Well, to be fair, again, the director was the art director on Shadow the Hedgehog. So I'm not surprised they adapted some of Shadow's game into this movie.
I'll tell you what, I bet you when the Shadow movie comes out, that's going to be like weird for him. Just being like, man, he went from art director to director of the game that he worked on.
Yeah, probably.
It's such a good scene. It was fantastic.
There's no way he's not going to do it too. I had my concerns that he wouldn't because of Knuckles. But if they upgrade it to a movie, which at this point I'm positive they will. I didn't hear All Hail Shadow in the movie.
I did. It wasn't like with lyrics, but it was instrumental.
Okay. Again, I'm gonna pay attention to these things when it comes out on DVD.
Good, because you weren't paying attention before.
How is it not going to be another series? So there were interviews where they basically said if Sonic 3 does well, they were going, because they already had plans for a Shadow series on the same like level as Knuckles. But if Sonic 3 does well enough, they're going to just flat out upgrade that from a show to a movie.
And it looks like it's doing pretty well so far.
It's doing really well so far.
So people, you should expect that that's going to be the case.
So yeah, we are very likely going to get a Shadow movie. And if Rouge doesn't appear in it, I'm going to be mad.
Oh yeah, chat. Rouge wasn't in the movie. It was just the three of them.
4.
Which, huh?
4, if you count Shadow.
I'm not counting the final cutscene.
4, if you count Shadow.
Oh, whatever. I'm counting Heroes here.
Okay, if you count Heroes.
Sonic 3 might be the best movie I've ever watched. Yeah, it was pretty good.
I want Rouge and Omega. I think it's no. We will never. We will never see Omega. I'm sorry. We will never see Omega. Because so it's all over the place. But I'm going to clarify this. There is a scene. So Shadow does sacrifice himself still. It is still the same idea.
Obviously.
But instead of Shadow falling to Earth and crashing into it. So the reason why the Ark was crashing into the planet without the Bio Lizard basic is that the Eclipse cannon was built to be powered by raw chaos energy. They flat out said that in the movie, which I'm amazed they did. And because of it, it turned the Eclipse cannon practically into a nuclear bomb.
Yeah.
And Gerald had the arc on a collision course, like in the original SA2, for Earth. And instead of Shadow, stopping it from doing it or doing chaos control, because he never does chaos control proper, like the way we see it, like he doesn't stop time or anything. Or yell
maybe maybe that's what it is. But
yeah, very well he could be, and we just never hear it.
Him poofing in and out of existence is basically that.
Yeah, that was the original version of chaos control that we saw. But instead of doing that, he took out the inhibitor rings and he pushed the arc far enough away from Earth that the nuclear blast would not affect Earth. I don't know how, but movies. It's fine.
Yeah.
The Eclipse cannon uses chaos emeralds to fire it in the game. That is true. They did not use chaos emeralds to fire it in the movie.
No. Instead of using chaos emeralds to power it, they used key cards instead.
And Shadow.
Is, it's kind of whatever.
Well, it was primarily Shadow, like that powered up the. Because again, they spent the first two movies acknowledging that Sonic has latent energy. I'm gonna go with probably on the fact that it's also chaos energy, because that's just how the franchise works.
Yeah.
But Shadow used his own to power the cannon.
I do believe that that's gonna
bite them in the ass
alter
eventually.
The series a little bit.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna alter it enough to be a problem, though.
Oh no, definitely not. Sorry, chat. That ramen really beat me up. I feel kind of wimpy saying that.
But so the major reason Sonic beat the snot out of Shadow is back to the Tails hologram things I was talking about. When they invaded Gun HQ to get the key card so Eggman didn't get it, Tom used one of Tails' hologram things and made himself look like the gun director, who hinted that died, but I'm not sure if he did. I don't know. They definitely hinted that he died, but I'm not sure if he actually did.
I think he's just dead.
I think he's probably dead, yeah.
I'm gonna be honest, I just think he's dead.
But because this guy Shadow was blinded by his rage because of Maria. That has always been part of the SA2 lore. Fine. And Tom decided to look like...
Speaking of Maria, chat, Maria didn't get shot down in the movie.
No. In fact, okay.
I'm really upset by that.
No, she did.
No, she exploded from a...
Oh, right. They hit a barrel or a thing and...
Something was struck and she didn't get shot. What I'm saying is there was no little girl that got shot in the movie.
There was a little girl that got exploded.
Yes, but I still think a lot of people were disappointed.
I wasn't, because it's still, it's still the same idea. She still died.
Well, yeah, but I'm disappointed.
She just never gave Shadow her inspirational speech.
Yeah. I'm just upset that okay, I can't say that on YouTube, but she exploded from a missed shot.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's as nice as it will probably ever be.
Now here's something really interesting to consider with the movies.
Okay.
Sorry, I said that and I had the idea and then my brain's like, but what if you lost that?
Wow.
thought?
Wow, chat. You just leave me hanging. You can't just leave me hanging there.
Shadow's the Broly. Shadow's the Vegeta of the movie. Oh no, it was the Tom thing. So because sorry, I remember what it was.
You're looping now.
I am
you
looping.
You sound very autistic right now.
In the games, the director of Gun was on the space colony when Maria was shot. He was just a child then. In the movie, he instead actually tried. So when Gerald grabbed Shadow Maria, he actually called them children and was like, "Gun's trying to capture you. We need to leave." Because, you know, they know what they're going to do to Shadow, and in turn, what that would mean for Maria. So he was just like, "We're taking them both. We're gonna go. We're gonna haul ass. We're gonna bug out." And it was actually the director of Gun. He was just a basic Gun soldier at the time. But he's like, "What the hell are you doing? You're shooting at children, for God's sake." Like, Shadow was innocent at the time. Shadow didn't know what he was doing. He didn't have a purpose.
Yeah.
So Shadow was blinded by the fact that Maria died, that when Tom pretended to be the director of Gun, Shadow took out his rage on him and nearly killed Tom, which then sparked Sonic's rage. Which then led into the part where we mentioned earlier, where people were like, "Oh, you needed to see the Knuckles show to understand this." And it was Wade guarding the Master Emerald.
I don't need to see the Knuckles show in order to like. All we need to say is, oh, Wade's holding on to it. Oh, why is he holding on to it? Because him and Knuckles are BFFs now. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't care. I don't need to see the movie in order for that to be a thing.
Mm-hmm. Don't know if you got this.
Maria
playing Live and Learn.
Games is someone completely different. Yes.
Yeah. Maria was playing Live and Learn on her guitar. Yes.
Yes, she was. Also, chat, the Bio Lizard was Godzilla. That was like the funniest thing ever. I was like, if they're gonna not use the Bio Lizard, that's probably the best way to do it.
Absolutely.
Because otherwise, he's just not going to be in there. So the inclusion of him as Godzilla was funny.
Mm-hmm. I agree. That was very cleverly done. But because of... Now, this is something from Sonic 2, that confused me. So we saw the Master Emerald break and become the Chaos Emeralds in Sonic 2.
Uh-huh.
And then we saw Knuckles put the Master Emerald back together. There was no clarification if that was just, this is the Master Emerald and the Chaos Emeralds are out there somewhere. Or if he put the Chaos Emeralds reformed into the Master Emerald.
It's kind of one of those weird things that I don't feel like we have good confirmation on.
And then in Sonic 3, the Master Emerald turned into the Chaos Emeralds. Which was weird. But
yeah, I am not quite sure how I feel about that.
It didn't break and become the emeralds. It had the emeralds. Well, it had the emeralds inside of it, but it actively broke. Like in Sonic 2, the emerald broke. Not in 3, but in 2 it did.
Chaos Emeralds also grew. They kind of did, yeah.
Yeah, they kind of did. Also, Shadow never used the Chaos Emerald in the movie.
No, that was one of the things that I kind of figured would not happen, because they haven't set up the Chaos Emeralds as something that...
They're not a plot MacGuffin.
No. Unlike in the other movies, or other games, that's what they were. They're not that in the Sonic movie series. Which is okay. I find it weird though.
Mm-hmm.
Because like even in Sonic 3, Eggman wasn't looking for them, period. He was more concerned to just get
I don't
another
think he
quill
even
for
still
Sonic.
knows the Chaos Emeralds as a exist. He knows the Master Emerald does, but I don't think he gives two shits anymore about it.
I mean, in the third movie, he was so happy with Grandpappy that
Exactly.
he wasn't even focusing on that.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, what did you think about Jim Carrey's double appearance?
So I'm sure some people here know that I have problems with Jim Carrey as Eggman. Not because he hasn't done Eggman fine. I think he's done Eggman fairly decently, but he kind of lets some of his Jim Carrey-isms kind of like roll into the character, and it feels weird. Like the typical Jim Carrey stuff you'd see in any of his movies is just there in Eggman.
Oh yeah. I do want to ask, when they made the fourth wall joke, did you roll your eyes at all?
Yes.
That was like my personal opinion, the worst joke
Just,
of the movie.
Just popped in. Was it good? It was fantastic. If you've not seen the movie, we are talking spoilers.
Yes.
So if you don't want to be spoiled, now's a good time to get out. I do hate to throw viewers and say, please leave, but I don't want to spoil anyone for this movie, because this movie, I smiled ear from ear. This movie was phenomenal.
It was pretty good. I think it was better than 2. Potentially better than 1 as well.
If I had to rate it, so I told you the night of that I'd rate it 1, 3, 2. 2 is my least favorite. 1 is my favorite. 3 is in the middle. I'm going to retract that statement.
Really?
2 is still my least favorite, but I'm going to swap 1 and 3. 3 is my favorite. 1 is in between.
Well, there we go. We have a brand new favorite, chat.
Raw 2.
Reason?
It was like Jim Carrey times 2 in the purest essence, but an Eggman skin. It was. And it's like, you could tell from interviews that he's at least treating Eggman like a pet project. Like, it's not just another role for him.
Which is nice. It's kind of hard to get like actors that are passionate like that these days.
Honestly, all the actors are. Idris Elba is very passionate about Knuckles. Jim Carrey's passionate about Eggman. Keanu is incredibly passionate about Shadow.
Yeah.
And it's the game actor for Tails who played Tails. I'm just not sure. That
was a rare get. They must not be that expensive.
Yeah.
I don't know.
The only one I don't actively hear talking like being an uber lore nerd for Sonic is actually the actor for Sonic. But everyone else has been like uber nerd about these movies. Reeves plays
Shadow.
Yep.
Yes.
Keanu Reeves is the voice of Shadow, and he knocked it out of the park.
Careful, don't hurt yourself there.
Like, when we got the movie pack DLC for Sonic X Shadow Generations, it sounded shoehorned. It sounded phoned in. It sounded awful. Like he was just doing it because he was paid to do it, and that was it. And I was like, please tell me he does not sound like this in the movie. He didn't, and Keanu surprised even me. He did it so well.
He did do a pretty decent job, yeah. Ben Schwartz comes off as a glib insider. What does that mean?
I don't know what... insider I get, but glib?
What does that mean?
Now, I will admit, it's very possible he's hiding his inner nerd, because he did come out and say he wants there to be a Sonic and Mario movie.
Yes, he did. I remember that.
And he specifically said Mario with Chris Pratt, so he's talking about movie Mario. So The only time a spoiler ruined a movie was Endgame. I agree. How very glib. Not to say Sonic's actor doesn't do a good job. I think Ben Schwartz does a phenomenal job as Sonic. Honestly, I think everyone, minus like when Jim Carrey has his Jim Carrey-isms, is really good. And glib equals lies and deceit. Yeah. Okay, fair.
Okay.
I think out of everyone, I can understand what you mean by that with Ben Schwartz. But like, we got interviews with Keanu way before the movie came out, and he flat out revealed that he was reading the comics, he was playing the games. Like, I think I heard this story somewhere. I might be mixing this story up with another actor though, from like a different project. But he went and actually bought like a copy of SA2 and Shadow and just played them. He kind of took in as much lore and knowledge of Shadow that he could. While I have no problem with Chris Pratt as Mario was terrible, I disagree. I thought he did fantastic as Mario. It's not like game Mario, but the version of Mario they were trying to tell, I think he did fantastic with it. Keanu was into it. Keanu was very into playing Shadow.
He was. It was fantastic.
He played all endings of Shadow. He did do that. That's very impressive.
Wait, he played the Shadow game and got all the endings?
He played the Shadow game and got all the endings.
Wow.
Yeah, that's how into Shadow he was.
That's crazy. Just gonna be real, that's pretty crazy.
Yeah, like not many people do that these days. So there's not a lot of them like here. So Sonic 2 kind of really wanted to lore dump you. Like, oh, we're going here, we're going there. Here's like Knuckles lore. Here's like Echidna lore. Here's Owl lore. Here's, X, Y, and Z. Whereas in Sonic 3, it was, here's the occasional flashback scene with like Sonic or Shadow Maria. And that was it.
Yeah.
I feel like they toned down the lore dump to a point where it's like, we want you to understand why Shadow is the way he is, and that's it.
Well, they did a pretty good job of that.
Yeah, which is, I much preferred that. I feel like Sonic 2 had way too much lore dumping. And Sonic 3 did that lore dumping better.
I think, to be fair, I don't really know if there was a better way for them to go better with that.
Sonic 3 was more campy, and that was an excellent choice. It was. Completely agree with that. But because of that, there isn't much to talk about with like the first, half of the movie. Like it's all very good. There are some scenes that got me like kind of concerned that they were gonna pull the DEI card.
Oh, with Agent Stone.
With Stone, yeah.
Yeah.
Because there were a lot of times where Stone's like, he's kind of acting skittish. He's like, he cared about Eggman. You knew about that from the first and second movie, but with this one, it kind of felt more like how like a girl would be towards a guy, and it's like, or vice versa, being like, I like you. I don't want to tell you, but I like you, kind of thing.
Yeah.
It felt like that. And they never did that.
They didn't go that way.
They didn't go that way. And then there was the scene. So Eggman did do his whole like announcement thing, but it was at the end of the movie, and he was specifically talking to Stone. And the entire time with that, it sounded like they were also skirting along that line where Eggman was going to tell Stone that he had feelings for him too, and that was like I was like, please don't, please don't, please don't, and they didn't.
Instead, chat, he was just like, "You are my bro, Chacho," and I'm like, "Oh, thank God."
Yeah. Exactly. I feel much better about that. Now,
Yeah.
I will admit, does that mean in the fourth movie, will they retire Stone and Eggman goes to robot henchmen?
Oh, because of the cutscene in the end.
So, Stone technically did retire from being Eggman's henchman because Eggman, quote unquote, fired him.
Yeah.
Now, at the end of the movie, they kind of resolved that, but at that point, Eggman died. Quote unquote, died.
Quote, died.
He's not dead.
There's no way Eggman's dead. Chat, just saying right now. If you think he's dead, that's fine, but he's coming back. Because if we are to believe what we are to believe, the next movie will follow probably similar to Sonic CD. I know Temp and I talked about that a little bit.
Yeah. So that's actually the last thing of the spoilers talk I want to get into, because that's a whole can of worms in and of itself. And I have some theories about that ending. But this kind of all leads into the final act of the movie. So Sonic turns super, and in his fit of rage, he turns super. He charges through the Eclipse Cannon, grabs Shadow, and hauls his ass back to Earth. And they have this like Dragon Ball like fight where Shadow turns super and they fight on Earth, and like there's lava erupting and their fight takes place across the entire planet. Very Dragon Ball. And it was so good. And Sonic punched him so hard that Shadow went back to his base form after being thrown from the Earth to the moon. And then they had Sonic went to the moon and had like a heart-to-heart with Shadow, essentially.
Yeah.
In which they realized that their lives are not so different. And they actually, I was not expecting them to take the route. Like, Shadow's always been kind of like edgy. But movie Shadow doesn't feel that way. Movie Shadow kind of feels like he's Sonic's equal. They're rivals, but they're more on the same vein of like friends instead of rivals, you know? And after this heart-to-heart, they flat out both turn super, agree to stop Gerald from destroying Earth. And then we get the big live and learn moment. No, I mentioned Shadow went super. I didn't skip out on that. But Shadow went super, they had their moment, and then they went to go fight Gerald together. So it was Super Sonic and Super Shadow fighting the Eclipse Cannon. Which kind of leads into back to my original theory that the final fight was either going to be the Bio Lizard or just yet another giant Eggman mecha. It wasn't necessarily an Eggman mecha, but it was a machine. And the moon got pissed on. Yes, technically, yes. The moon got pissed on.
Not in the same way we all thought it would.
No.
But yes, that did happen.
And the moon got sliced in half.
A third of it got cut off. I do like how Eggman was like, "Ooh, I didn't do that. Why did you guys do that?"
He's like, we did it! And then they saw that, and they're all like, oh god, why? And then he's like, you did this, not me. I'm innocent here.
The moon got.
That was really good.
I knew there was no way they were gonna do a joke about that, but it would have been really funny if they did.
Yeah. They did do okay. I don't know where this came from, but they did a Shadow Latinas joke.
Where did that happen?
I don't know where that started. You mean where it happened? Okay.
Yeah.
So, do you remember at the beginning with the movie when we saw Eggman all like messed up and he's playing the bongos on his stomach?
Yeah,
and he's watching a soap opera.
Yeah. Eggman got like heavy into Mexican soap opera.
Yeah.
I don't understand why. But you know, it's just like a thing.
They played on that because it was playing in their crab mecca that he was like living in. And they used that same crab mecca to go to Europe, or to go to London to go to Gun HQ. And Eggman and Gerald went in there, and instead Shadow was watching it now. And they kind of made jokes about the whole Shadow Latina thing. If someone knows where that started, please tell me. I don't know where that started. I'd like to know. I was okay with it, but it was like...
Then Shadow defends the woman? Yes.
Yeah, he does.
He white knights for her? Yeah, that is pretty funny.
Yeah, definitely just a reference, though. So, I didn't mind it. I thought it was fine.
Hence, Shadow loves Latinas. I mean, fair enough. It's kind of funny.
It's a community. Yeah, I know it's a community in joke. I just don't know where it started. I know your meme states it started on TikTok. Oh, it was TikTok.
Really?
Oh, of course it's TikTok. Everything's just TikTok these days. Oh, it's the same channel that made the piss on the moon meme? Oh. Okay.
Oh, yeah. No, yeah.
Okay. Fine. To be fair, the movies all kind of took some bits and pieces of like memes from the franchise.
They did.
Even if they're community made memes, not like, you know. But no, so we didn't have the Bio Lizard, and we had Sonic and Shadow fighting essentially the Eclipse Cannon, and Gerald throwing hundreds of gun machines at the pair.
I was kind of worried that we wouldn't see the gun robots.
Yeah, I was
happy
too.
to see that they include them at the end there.
And they made them rather intimidating.
They did. It was really nice.
Like, we didn't get like the piloted gun mechas, but we got the machines.
We did.
So Eggman killed Gerald.
Oh no. It was kind of crazy.
The best way I could describe it was Eggman poked Gerald in the ass with a supersonic quill, which sent Gerald face first into a nuclear reactor and killed him instantly. No blood, no explosion, just poof, gone.
If Journos hate it, it's good. Did Journos hate this movie?
If Journos hate this movie, awesome. Sonic Shadow also got to throw his multi-chaos spear. He did do chaos spear, and that was so good. Oh. That was so good.
Oh, excuse me.
You know, there hasn't been a snooping as usual meme. I don't think.
Wait, what meme?
You know the Sonic meme of snooping as usual, I see?
Where did that come from?
Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog.
Okay.
Wait, he was banged to death by Sonic's quill? He was.
Yes, he was.
Eggman flat out poked his grandfather in the ass with the quill Sonic gave him at the beginning of the movie, and it killed him.
Yeah, I know that. That was probably. I don't know. I can tell you that there was definitely improv from Jim Carrey.
Oh,
I'm just not quite
absolutely.
sure where.
Honestly, I'm very okay with Gerald dying.
Yeah, because I don't want him to stick around.
No.
Honestly,
Gerald should have been dead to begin with, so him dying, fine, cool.
was fine.
Especially because in the story, they said he was 110 years old.
Oh, that's really old, man.
Yeah, people edited it to make it so it sounded like him saying Pingus, but eventually people on the shows would reference that, so they knew about the edits and thought they were funny. Yeah. So the actual phrase is "snooping as usual, I see," and the fans cut that down to where he just yells Pingus.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Let me find it for you, so you understand the meme.
I'm a little confused here. Also, I really apologize, Wolf, that I didn't hit your thing earlier. I want to stay up, but I work in the morning. I'll watch the VOD later. Good night. I apologize, Wolf, but I appreciate you. And you're gonna hear this tomorrow morning, but I appreciate you. Jared's supposed to be the good Robotnik, and all the good ones are dead in the Sonic universe. There ain't nothing good about this one.
Here. This isn't like the best one, so that's the actual like.
Oh, I remember now. I see.
Yeah, so that's where that came from. Jared was good until he wasn't, went mad with vengeance, just like he tried to do with Shadow. Exactly, and that's why he died.
Because yeah, in the original SA2, they when he was arrested, and he died via firing squad.
Yeah,
If
he
I
was
remember
executed.
correctly.
Yes,
Yeah,
like the man
that
went
was
batshit insane.
that was insane.
Which I get. I mean, oh, you know what? That was something they never discussed either. Maria's illness.
Oh yeah, that was never thrown in there, wasn't it?
No, give me a second. I need to use the bathroom.
Okay. We gotta run away right now. Now, what if I remember correctly, Maria was like dying, chat, and in the movie she didn't, which I don't really mind that much. Which is kind of interesting. Anyway, since Temp is gone, I'll pull this up. Do we want communism, or do we want regular Joker? Let's try that. Adds double the rank of the lowest ranked card held in hand to multiplier. That sounds good. EBS is a curse. Are you talking about Ethan Van Sciver? Cause yes, I agree. I agree.
I'm back.
You're back.
So yeah. So they did manage to stop the Ark from crashing. Sonic passed out in his super form. which basically got Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles all to go back to Earth, and it just left Shadow and Eggman to stop the arc completely from crashing in the planet.
Yeah.
Which then led to the Eclipse Cannon exploding with Eggman on it and Shadow pushing it, which implied that they both died.
Shadow gonna pee in a hot topic. Excuse me?
Oh, yeah. So, again, we're talking spoilers. Akko, you don't have spoilers up on your screen anymore.
Oh, hold on.
So, yeah.
It is now there now. EDS smokes crack and licks you. Okay, that's disgusting. What the fuck? Where does this come from, chat?
The arc was made to find a cure for Maria's illness. Yes, it was. They referenced Hot Topic. I don't remember they did that, but hey, you know what? If they did, cool. Again, I'm gonna rewatch it and pay more attention, I think, to like different references when it comes out on Blu-ray. So Shadow was left with the emeralds. Yes. Well, maybe not. Very possibly not. I don't know. Again, the emeralds becoming the Master Emerald was never explained.
Oops. Yeah, I hope that's something that kind of like is addressed more later. Because it just isn't.
Yeah. The Eclipse Cannon in the movie was designed to self-destruct after firing. It was never going to crash, but explode in the atmosphere, killing whoever survived on the planet with radioactive radiation. Yes. Yes. And they stopped that. But that basically meant that basically they implied that Eggman died and Shadow died. Now, obviously, as Sonic fans, we all know Shadow's alive. Shadow did not die. In fact, the second post-credit scene flat out shows that he's alive. My big question with that second post-credit scene, because so the way SA2 worked, Shadow crashed into Earth, and Eggman captured him and put him into like pods and cloned him and made shadow androids, and he lost his memory and he didn't, all that fun stuff. And that's not the case with the movie. Well, okay, at least everything minus the memory part. We're not sure on the memory bit. So we don't know what's going on there. Shadow landed in Mexico. We don't know where he landed, but it's a deserty kind of place. Could have been Mexico.
If he landed in Mexico, I'd say that's the best outcome for him.
That's funny, yeah.
All those Latinas get their hot Mexican Shadow.
All the Latinas get furry Keanu Reeves.
They may be for it, I don't know.
And then we get to the first post-credits scene. Okay, so they revealed Amy. Amy is going to be in the next movie,
which I was kind of not expecting.
Yeah,
I was expecting that it was just going to be the main three plus whatever side villain they decide to bring in.
Yeah.
I was not ever expecting them to bring more in.
They also revealed an incredibly accurate Metal Sonic.
Oh, the one with all of the massive amount of Metal Sonic.
Well, no, like they showed the one metal to begin with.
Yeah.
And like it was like almost game accurate metal. Like that was scary how accurate that was to the games.
Yeah, I was definitely like, it boggled my mind. And she looks good. She does.
She does look really
indeed.
good. And then
I saw some people getting whiny because she is now here.
so that goes into my theory. I'm going to get into that in a minute. So they had Metal fighting Sonic because Sonic raced to racing Tails and Knuckles, ended up going too far to New York, or to one of the New York national parks or whatever, and then was ambushed by a Metal Sonic, which then revealed to be multiple Metal Sonics, like a lot of them, and Amy destroyed all of them.
They're gonna go with the CD storyline. That's what a lot of us think.
I'm gonna throw a curveball on you. I don't think it's the CD storyline.
Oh, you thought about it before though.
I mean, they're gonna adapt CD, but I think that okay. So there was an interview before 3 came out and said, yeah, they were having ideas for Silver. You see where I'm going with this?
Well, they can't do 06 already.
Replace Blaze with Amy. Replace Iblis with a giant army of Metal Sonics and Eggman taking over the Earth. They could do it.
I don't want them to.
You see where my theory is, though. Replace Blaze with Amy and replace Iblis with Eggman. There is a very good chance that Sonic 06 will be adapted in next movie. We may not get Silver immediately, but I think this might establish Silver's future.
I don't know.
I think CD is going to be the overall plot line, but I think they're going to change Little Planet to being Silver's future.
Replaced with Sonic Forces. Gross.
Ugh. No, I'm good. Thanks. Stop the movie franchise by then, please. We're done. We don't need Infinite. I like Blaze. I love Blaze. Blaze is fantastic. But Blaze was also one of those characters where it was like, why are you here? Amy is also weird, but less weird than Blaze. There is another theory that I talked to someone else about that said, what if Sonic ran too fast? Like what we see in like Sonic in like this New York state park and all the Metal Sonics. What if that wasn't the main, like, wasn't, what if he ran too fast and went into the future?
Do you think that's what happened?
I think there's a very decent possibility of that because they actually showed the moon and the moon had split apart more and was very clearly just like broken.
Right.
And in order for the moon to be in the position it was, it would take some time. He did have a Back to the Future joke in the movie. There is precedent. Exactly. There is precedent for it. You mean, when you say infinite, you mean the Jackal and Ruby? Yes.
Speaking of jokes, I love how they included the city escape joke at the beginning when they were doing the fly-in. That was pretty...
I never heard Escape from the City, though. I did hear, so obviously Live and Learn, that was there. And Eggman's, so both Eggman, so his theme from SA2 was there. And his theme from 06 and Unleashed was there.
Uh-huh. Oh, Abdul, thank you for the 2. You guys should take a look at the Sonic 3 soundtrack. On YouTube, the titles of some of the tracks hint towards Sonic 4.
Force him to watch Sonic Boom. I'm good. So that is a theory. Another theory that people have with the ending is that Eggman didn't die, but either his suit saved him. So the suit Gerald gave him, which was basically the game suit with like some like movie touch to it. Or maybe the explosion sent him into the future. So like we could see like present day Eggman in the future, which it would explain the army of Metal Sonics. Because we need to remember, Eggman would have had 2 quills by then.
Abdwell, you need to send me a link to these because I don't know where I would find this.
And yes, Sonic Prime sucked.
Oh, the TV show?
Yeah, the Netflix show. That sucked balls.
It did. It was bad.
What about the past? I mean, I don't know about that. All we know is that Amy, when we saw her, was in her modern day appearance. And the reason I actually went with the silver idea is if you look at Amy's garb, it looks very like Freedom Fighter or Resistance like. Like, it looks like it's been burned. It looks like it's been ripped apart. It's not just she put on a robe and that was it, like a cloak, and that was it. It looks like it's battle damaged. And given what she
become the main villain in Prime,
he did, yes.
I can't remember.
Yes, he did.
Did he?
Yep. And we never got Supersonic or a new transformation. Shadow was the only good part about Prime, and they fucking just ignored Shadow. It's skirting forces. I'm not disagreeing. It is. Again, we'll see. They have 2 years. Like, Shadow, when we first saw him in the post-credit scene for Sonic 2, looked different than we saw him in Sonic 3. So, we'll see what happens. We have until 2027. Because they've already said they're aiming for a spring 2027 release for Sonic 3. Akko, your model disappeared. Okay, it's back.
Oh. Am I still live?
Yeah, you're live.
That's weird. VTube Studio just like freaked out then.
Okay. So that's all the spoilers for the movie.
Yeah, for the most part. No, yeah, I can't really think of anything else. Sorry, my brain is just like...
It's your brain is fried. I can hear it.
It's Sunday, man. I am...
It is the Sunday before Christmas.
I am excited for Christmas, specifically so that I can just, like, not do anything.
Oh, I get that. Chat. I might stream Christmas Eve, like, an all-day stream.
I will be on Ava's stream on Christmas Eve. And there will probably be something on Christmas Day.
Final rating for the movie. 5 out of 5. Out of 5 stars, 5. Absolutely love the movie.
It's pretty good. 4 out of 5 stars.
When we joked at the beginning of the stream that this was like my Christmas, I grew up with Sonic.
Yeah. It's a late night. It is. It is. I think I just like
raise my desk.
I had a rough day today at work.
That's fine. Well, do you want to call it here then?
I mean, I can't really think. I don't really think there's much else to talk about. Chad, is there anything else that you guys wanted us to talk about in relations to the movie? Because I can't think of anything, honestly.
The movie? Nope.
Okay. Make sure. Oh, there. Abdullah gave us 2.
I don't see those. Hold on.
Oh. So they gave me the here I'll share this.
Oh, in your DMs. Okay.
No, it was sent as a super chat. Straight to Streamlabs. This is all of the music from it.
Hold on, that's loading in Chrome, and I'm refusing to use Chrome for YouTube. Hold on.
Oh wow. So this is the soundtrack. Oh, I am kind of disappointed there was no I Found You Faker scene.
There was no faker scene, yeah.
The Edge of Tomorrow is the last song.
Send me that one. Yeah, I don't know what...
That's the name of the song.
I don't hear anything special about the one you just sent me.
Well, that was the front song.
Yeah, I don't hear anything special about that one.
No, but like they're saying in the titles, it could hint towards things in chat in the thing. Interesting. I'll try to make a Christmas stream. Hey, no issues if you can't chat. Like, no, yeah, I no issues if you can or can't. Do Terminator Go Back to the Future? Oh, excuse me. That would be funny. Now, chat, in Balatro, I'm currently still trying to win. I have decided I want to go for a spades only deck that will allow me to do straights. Or not straights, it would be flushes. Spade flushes. That sounds kind of lewd when you think about it. Anyway, I don't really have that much else to talk about for tonight.
Yeah.
Is there anybody else streaming right now? Sparky is streaming. You know what, chat? I've never rated Sparky before. Granted, because he's never live when I do shit. So we'll be nice tonight, chat. Is he also on Twitch? I don't know. I'm gonna send you to Mari on Twitch. You guys like Mari, I think. Never mind, she's not online. Why the fuck does it show me her thing then? All right. I'm gonna send you to Lulu.
Okay. And chat, I'm going to end stream on my side. I know I talked about playing Balatro, but it is nearly 11.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to bed at a nice time tonight.
And I have a long day tomorrow. So I'm going to end stream here, and I will see you all maybe on Tuesday. If not on Tuesday, I will absolutely be on Friday.
All right.
Otherwise,
you
chat.
have a good night.
Have a good night, chat.